Good morning, afternoon, or evening from wherever you're tuning in from today. Welcome back to our mini series on continuous quality improvement practices for nonprofits, where you can learn the basics of setting a good CQI foundation in under 10 minutes. Now that you've created a logic model, it's time to tackle one of the most overlooked but critical tools in your CQI toolkit: data dictionaries. These can serve as an instruction manual for consistent and reliable data collection. By the end of this video, you'll understand what a data dictionary is, the essential components that make them work, and why they're crucial for turning your logic model into measurable results. Let's get started. Follow me along a cooking analogy that we like to use in coffee and quality. If you think of our logic model as a recipe to follow, then our data dictionary could be viewed as our ingredients. They go into detail about what exactly we need to have in place to make everything possible once we're ready to cook with data. A data dictionary is like a recipe book for your data. It provides clear definition, collection methods, and standards for every piece of information your organization tracks, ensuring everyone collects data the same way every single time. In this analogy, it ensures everyone has the exact same ingredients to make the same meal every time we cook. Picture this scenario at Alice's animal rescue. One volunteer records dog breeds as German Shepherd, another writes GSD, a third puts in German Shepherd mix, and someone else comes in and puts large breed mix. Now they can't accurately count the number of German Shepherds in their database without doing a lot of manual cleaning. Things like this are common across databases in most fields. Think about the number of times you've seen dates or addresses entered differently from client to client. A data dictionary eliminates this confusion by providing clear definitions, collection methods, and standards for every data element that you track. Just like your logic model shows how your program creates change, your data dictionary ensures that you can actually measure that change consistently and correctly every time. Every effective data dictionary entry needs 5 essential components. Let's break them down using examples from Alice's Responsible Pet Ownership Program. Your field name is what you call your data point. Keep it clear, consistent, and searchable. You want to avoid jargon or abbreviations that might just end up confusing team members or even external users, such as volunteers or partner organizations who may view your data. For example, instead of an abbreviation like PTSAT, use participant satisfaction score. Or instead of DOA, use date of adoption. Think about someone who is completely new to your organization. They should be able to understand what this field represents just from the name alone. Your field names should be descriptive enough that staff can quickly locate the right information in your database or spreadsheet, and specific enough that there's no confusion about what belongs in each field. Consider using consistent naming conventions across related fields like pet owner name, pet owner phone, pet owner address, rather than mixing up the formats. Your definitions should clearly state what this information actually means. In this section, it's important to be specific and avoid assumptions altogether. Remember, new staff should understand this without additional explanation. Instead of defining client status as simply where the client is in our process, be specific and try something like this instead: current stage of client participation in our services, indicating their current engagement level, and next required action. You can include important context like whether you're measuring something at a specific point in time, cumulative over a period of time, or if it's based on the most recent interaction. For Alice, pet health status shouldn't just say animal's health condition, but might say assessment of animal's overall health at time of intake, includes diagnosed conditions requiring ongoing treatment or monitoring. Your collection method tells the how and when about gathering this information. Be inclusive of everything from client intake forms to staff observations and even follow-up surveys. You can be precise about the source and timing of collecting this information. For example, specify collected during initial interview within 24 hours of pet adoption, rather than just saying collected at intake. You can also include who is responsible for collecting this information, what tools or forms that they should use, and any special circumstances that affect timing. If Alice collects pet owner experience level, they should clarify whether this comes from a checkbox on an adoption application, a verbal interview question, or from observation during a meet and greet process. You can also specify any conditions that might change the collection method, like if adopter is under 18, collect from parent guardian during required family meeting. Your data format will cover exactly how to record this information, such as date formats, number ranges, text length limits, or even drop down menu options. This will help to reduce interpretation errors. Be extremely specific about acceptable formats. Writing record dates as month, date, year. For text fields, specify character limits and capitalization rules. For numerical data, include units and ranges. When using drop-down menus or multiple choice options, list every acceptable response exactly as it should appear with no variations allowed. This level of specific detail will prevent staff from creating their own formats that make data analysis difficult. You should include helpful examples in your data dictionary to clearly represent what good data looks like. Having this at the top of your data dictionary will help to reduce any confusion and ensures consistency across your team. Provide multiple examples that show the range of acceptable entries, not just one ideal entry. For pet description, don't just show friendly golden retriever mix good with children, but also include descriptors like shy black cat needs quiet home or energetic border collie requires experienced owner. Show both positive and challenging examples so staff understand the full scope of what belongs in each field. You can also include examples of what not to do. This helps staff understand the quality and specificity that you're looking for in each data field. These are two examples of how we can make our data clearer, specific, and impossible to misunderstand. Data dictionaries resolve issues that may otherwise cost nonprofits time, money, and credibility every day. Here are just a few of the top ways that a data dictionary can save you in a pinch. Whether someone has been with your organization for 1 day or 10 years, they collect data the same way. No more guessing at what client engagement means or how to record participant demographics. With the data dictionary, defining things like energy level with specific options like low, moderate, high, or very high are clear criteria for each option. Every team member records the same information consistently. This means your 6 month volunteer and your new board member both have the same understanding of high energy level, rather than making their own interpretations. When experienced team members leave, now their data knowledge stays behind. New staff can collect quality data from day one using your dictionary instead of spending weeks learning through trial and error. Without documentation, when Alice's long term adoption coordinator leaves, the new person has to guess at whether follow up call completed means if they've reached the adopter, left a message, or just attempted contact. This leads to months of inconsistent data collection while the new person figures out unwritten rules. With the data dictionary, your entire team can maintain data quality and program evaluation integrity from their first day. Funders and stakeholders receive accurate information because your data means the same thing every time it's collected. No more corrections to grant reports or inconsistent outcome measurements. Imagine Alice reporting to funders that 85% of adopters showed improved pet care knowledge, but then later discovered that different staff define improved in a number of different ways. This forces awkward corrections and damages credibility. With standardized definitions, when Alice reports outcome data, funders can trust that every percentage point represents the same measurable change, making their reports reliable tools for decision making rather than questionable estimates. You can reduce or stop entirely the number of hours spent cleaning messy data or trying to figure out what old records actually mean or used to mean. Trust me, as someone who has done the work myself, your staff or your future self will thank you. When you present clear standards up front, you can prevent confusion and rework later, freeing up time for mission critical activities. Instead of Alice's data coordinator spending every month trying to standardize entries into usable categories, staff enter consistent animal breed information from the first day. This eliminates the monthly data cleaning sessions and allows the coordinator to focus on actual analysis and program improvement rather than detective work as they're trying to figure out what previous entries meant. The time saved on data management can be redirected to direct service delivery and program enhancement. I have personally seen organizations transform their data quality in a matter of weeks, not months, simply by implementing basic data dictionaries. The investment in creating them pays off immediately. And as I constantly remind myself and others who I work with, don't do data dirty. When you keep your work, records, and procedures clean from the start, managing data becomes significantly easier. And one of the easiest steps to get there is having a solid data dictionary in place. Now, let's put your knowledge to the test with a quick quiz on data dictionaries. I will ask you several multiple choice questions and wait just a few seconds before showing you the answer. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time. What are the five essential components of a data dictionary entry? A. Name, definition, method, format, and examples. B. Title, description, rules, style, samples. C. Field, meaning, process, structure, models. Data dictionaries help nonprofits by A. Ensuring consistent data collection across team members. B. Supporting smooth staff transition and reliable reporting. C. All of the above. A good data dictionary definition should be A. Brief and use familiar organizational jargon. B. Specific and understandable to new team members. C. Flexible to allow for interpretation. Great work. If you had a hard time answering any of these questions or want to look over a certain section before moving on, use the chapter breakdown to jump to the section that you're most interested in reviewing. If you're ready to bring consistency to your data collection, start by identifying the five most important data fields you collect regularly. Think about information that appears in reports to funders or board members, and use the five elements discussed in this video to define just one of these fields clearly. Then test it with someone who collects the data to ensure it makes sense. If you're interested in learning more about United Way of Greater Houston's efforts in this space, through our coffee and quality programs, we are taking this work a step further by empowering our partner agencies and community partners to lead the way in strengthening data practices across the nonprofit landscape. Check the link in the description for more information. If you're ready to move to the next section, get ready to learn all about the basics of documentation for analysis and reporting.